And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to Kahok Stadium here on the Kahok Sports Network. I am Todd Duke, and we are a little bit early tonight as we are going to bring you the senior festivities. It is senior night here at Kahok Stadium, and in just a couple of minutes we will turn things over to longtime coach and longtime PA announcer here at Collinsville High School, Jim Sika, as he announces all the seniors and their parents, as well as I guess probably something about them and maybe their future endeavors, whether they're going to college or which college they're going to, or things like that. So that's what we have in store for you tonight. That'll be getting underway here in just a couple of minutes as we are getting you set for the final game of the year for your Collinsville Kahok football team. And as for that matter, the Centralia Orphans. Collinsville comes in here at 0-8, trying to pick up their first win of the season during the last game of the year, and avoid some dubious competition from other teams in the past that Collinsville has had that has not won a game, trying to stay away from that group. Centralia comes in with an overall record of 2-6. So it's going to be a battle of a couple of teams that are not going to the playoffs this year and will end their year here on this football field. And it'll end the year for a bunch of players for Collinsville, the seniors on this year's team, and I talked about that a little bit with Coach Popovich, which we will pass along that pregame interview to you in our pregame show here in just a little bit. But you have a few players that are out here that are going to get recognized tonight that are going to be standing on the field for the final time instead of playing on the field for the final time, and that, of course, is Chris Chai, the senior quarterback who was hurt in the first game of the year and missed the second game against Triad, came back in the game against Alton just to get hurt again, and that was the last time that we saw him competitively on the football field. Jake Holton came in to replace him at quarterback this past year. Game 4, I believe. Well, he came in the middle of the Alton game, as did Colby Anderson, and Holton then got hurt in the game that we did for you at Mattoon. So he is out for the rest of the year. And then, of course, the game at Lincoln featured Aaron Moulton, who only played this year as far as a football player is concerned, but he was trying to make a name for himself with 1 year under his belt on the football field as a big tight end, and ran the ball once and had the ball thrown to him once, and then got hurt in that Lincoln game and is out for the rest of the year and is going to miss a big chunk of the upcoming basketball season as well that gets underway here in a little over a month. So some of those seniors will be honored tonight, but won't be playing in this game. Other seniors, they'll be on the field, though, tonight. Your Kyler Williams and Don Brooks and Gabe Miller and Antoine Catchings. Those guys will be out there on the field tonight trying to give it a go and pick up that final win for Collinsville. So that's what we have going on for you tonight. We're going to take a break and catch our breaths a little bit and let everybody get situated, and then when we come back, we will have senior night for you, and we'll do that here in just a little bit on the Kahok Sports Network. Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Something old can be something new again. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville proves that old adage right one more time. Derek and Whitney Reiser, along with brewmaster and distillery operator Torrin O'Brien, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is not just a place to eat and drink, but more of a must-experience destination in the St. Louis area. With its Collinsville Herald newspaper feel, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery features a restaurant, a tap room, and of course a state-of-the-art one-of-a-kind distillery. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery can handle all of your group functions, as well with an event space that can handle you and 79 of your friends for any large gathering. And the food? Well, simply amazing, with local and new favorites, plus brunch on Sundays. How about bocce ball or bags on the patio? Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville. 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville. Give them a call at 855-8027, online at oldheraldbrewing.com, or on Facebook at Old Herald.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock team. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com. Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, the newest in online auctioning. Go to ogleauctionshighbid.com, that's HIBid.com, to check out what's up for bid in the next auction. Ogle Auctions deals with everyday items like board games, t-shirts, and more, to collectibles, whether that is a vehicle, vinyl records, or vintage toys. Or how about a trolley car? And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more items. Check out their next online auction at ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's ogleauctionshibid.com. Or call Kim Ogle today at 618-980-4530. Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering, wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahoks.
And once again, we welcome you back to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. It is senior night, and we turn things over now to Jim Sika.
The senior athletes on the last game of the season. We will be honoring senior football players and senior band members before halftime. For the seniors football team, manager Alexis Ham, daughter of Paul and Christy Ham, plans on attending Murray State University to study nursing. Emily Shantz, daughter of Jim and Ginger Shantz, plans on attending Illinois State University to study kinesiology and eventually becoming a physical therapist. Jake Holton, number 4, son of Sherry and Brett Holton, plans on attending a 4-year university to major in business. Number 8, Dante Williams Jr., son of Marlene Bobo and Dante Williams Sr., Dante plans on attending a 4-year university to study sports medicine. Number 9, Kyler Williams, son of Tasha Gibson Johnson and Frederick Williams. Kyler plans on attending a 4-year university with a major to be determined. Number 20, E.J. Kohler, son of Kevin and Christy Kohler. E.J. plans on serving in the United States Army. Number 23, Tremaine Burns, son of Crystal Revere and Wayne Burns. Tremaine plans on attending a 4-year university to study business. Number 25, Gabriel Miller, son of Billy Miller. He plans on attending a university with a major to be determined. Number 26, DJ Poe, son of Cecile Perkins, plans on attending a university and will double major in psychology and political science. Number 32, Donald Brooks Jr., son of Sally Tarawali Can, plans on attending the University of Missouri-Columbia to study electrical engineering. Number 33, Trey Anderson, son of Nina Mason and Mark Anderson, plans on attending a university to study criminal justice while playing football. Number 36, Antoine Catchings, son of Nicole and Brandon Catchings, plans on attending a 4-year university to study exercise science and then pursue med school to become an orthopedic doctor. Number 42, Carson Olson, son of Jennifer Osborne and Eric Olson, plans on serving in the United States Air Force. Number 43, Travion Stewart, son of Larry and Michelle Stewart, plans on attending the University of Missouri-Columbia to study criminal justice. Number 50, Aaron Rodriguez, son of Maria Zamora, Plans on attending a university to study athletic training while playing football. Number 54, DeMonte Prayer, son of Demetrius and Christine Prayer, plans on studying law enforcement in college. Number 56, Matt Acton, son of Ryan Acton and Don Perez. Future plans undecided. Number 57, Elijah Norton, son of Shelley and Mason Norton, plans on attending Southeastern Illinois College on a 2-year trap shooting scholarship and will study criminal justice. Number 66, Cody Smith, son of Victoria Helms and Claude Smith, plans on attending a 4-year university with a major to be determined while playing college football. Number 70, Seth Brusewitz, son of Robert and Debbie Brusewitz, plans on attending SWIC SWIC for 2 years to complete generals and then will attend a 4-year university to study law. Number 71, Cole Hellman, son of Dana Kincannon and Rusty Hellman, plans on attending a university to major in computer science. Number 85, Lance Carretz, son of Kim and Marco Lozano. He plans on serving in the United States Coast Guard. Number 99, Aaron Moulton, son of Shara Caswell, plans on attending a university with a major to be determined. And number 7, Chris Chai, son of Cindy and Danny Chai, plans on attending a 4-year university to major in business.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the class of 2020 as far as your seniors on the Collinsville Kahok football team. A couple of cheerleaders as well, and as Jim Sika mentioned, they will recognize the seniors in band at halftime. That concludes the senior festivities here at Collinsville High School. We will take a break and we'll get you back into the regular programming. The Culp Jennings Florist pregame show is next on the Kahok Sports Network.
100 years ago, the year was 1919. The Chicago White Sox were steamrolling through Major League Baseball on their way to the World Series, a series the Sox eventually lost in 9 games to the underdog Cincinnati Reds, thanks in part to a handful of cheats on Chicago's team that would later be labeled the Black Sox. 1919, the president was Woodrow Wilson. Prohibition goes into effect, as women in 1919 were fighting for the right to vote. World War I came to an end with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. Babe Ruth was sold by the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees for $125,000. Gas was 25 cents a gallon, a loaf of bread cost 7 cents, and a 1-pound juicy steak would run you 26 cents. The great Jackie Robinson and Liberace were both born in 1919, while former President Theodore Roosevelt dies in his sleep that year. Also that year, in the Midwestern United States, in the small town of Collinsville, Illinois, the students were enjoying their 11th year in their new high school on Vandalia Street. That year, head coach John Hawkins led his Collinsville Kahok football team to the gridiron for the first time. The Kahoks, well, they would go 1-3 that first year in Collinsville, but Collinsville Kahok football, it was born. Now we start 100 years, and it all begins anew in 2019. Now is the time for change and hard work. Now is the time for Collinsville Kahok football. The Kahok way.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Culp Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you set for this contest. It is a week number 9 between Collinsville and the Centralia Orphans. And our pregame show brought to you by Culp Jennings Florist, a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Culp Jennings Florist located at 517 West Clay Street. You can stop in for weekly specials. This week they have fall sunflower special going on, and you can get a dozen sunflowers inside of a stylish vase, all for $25. For more information, give Culp Jennings Florist a call at 344-0404 or online at culpjennings.com. We have Mr. Peyton Blaylock on the camera and providing us some little color commentary here tonight for this final game of the season as we welcome in the Centralia Orphans. And Peyton, it is last week of the season, and you just want to see a good performance. I know we've seen some good performances the last few weeks from this Kahok team, but the one thing missing is the W.
Absolutely, Todd. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight and you're ready for some Kahok football and hopefully a win tonight. Yeah, you're absolutely right that they've definitely been scoring a lot more points the last few weeks, so they've been able to improve, but yeah, they just got to run right through that last wall. Get that W. And this tonight, last game of the season, it's a really good way to build on next year and go into the offseason.
And I had a chance earlier to talk to Coach Mike Popovich. We talked about senior night. We talked about next year's seniors, believe it or not. We also touched a little bit on the next year's schedule as well, and the game tonight here against Centralia. So we're going to step aside for a moment, take a break. When we come back, we'll pass that conversation along to you, and that'll happen next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Collinsville Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Collinsville Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Collinsville Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Collinsville Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Collinsville Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at collinsvillejennings.com.
And we welcome you back into the Caleb Jennings Flores pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We're at Kahok Stadium, final time here in the fall sports season. We won't be back again until March for girls soccer, but we have one more game to bring you in the world of high school football. It is week number 9. Collinsville is at home, and they are taking on the Orphans of Centralia. And joining us now is Collinsville head coach Mike Popovich. Coach, it is senior night. And I know this is only your second year, so you've spent more time with the guys who are seniors now than the rest of them, pretty much. So yeah, I know you're losing some of them that aren't even going to get a chance to play tonight, which is really kind of disappointing in the world of Chris Chai and Jake Holton and Aaron Moulton. But talk about this group of seniors and what they mean to you when they take that final step onto the field right now.
Yeah, we got a couple other ones out. Cody Smith's out again. Matt Acton. I mean, that's 5 seniors right there that have been starters, and it's tough. And we talk to the kids all the time about you got to play like it could be your last game because you just don't know. You don't know what sport it is. I mean, anything can happen, and it's been it's been an injury-plagued season. With that being said, I mean, this senior group has done a real nice job for us, establishing some things, establishing the standard as far as things that we do in the program. You know, taking care of business in the classroom. I mean, their grades are through the roof. I mean, they do a great job with that, and it's a likable group. You wanted. I so badly wanted these kids to win just because this group works hard. They're a great group to be around, and you wish they could for sure. But they'll be successful in life, and we're more proud of that than any W will get on the field.
So you kind of take a look back tonight at a 4-year career for some of them that ends tonight on this football field. Let's take a look ahead a little bit, and you'll be talking about next year's senior class on senior night. The juniors this year, the Jaden Neighbors, the Stephen Green, the Detchins, the Treviers, the Garcia Clouds. Talk about the future of this program. I know that it's senior night, but talk about the future.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to be excited about, and obviously you named a few of them, and it's a good group. And I think when you look at I think you always compare groups. You compare last year's group to this year's, and this year's to the group that'll be seniors next year, and so on and so forth. Next year's group, I think one of the big things that we're excited about is we have a few more vocal leaders in that junior group. Stevie Green can be very vocal. Gage Trevere can be vocal. Obviously, Jaden Neighbors, we're excited about him, and we want him to be healthy. As another kid that's battled injuries this year. There's a lot to be excited about with that group, and I think the other big thing that you have to take into consideration is they've had 2 years in our lifting program and another year in our lifting program, and you're going to see a lot of improvements, a lot more explosiveness. So it's a group that we're excited about for sure, and it's just a good mixture of kids that are juniors and sophomores. And we were doing some math the other day, and freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, it looks like we're expecting just 75 just out of those that'll be back from this year. And that's a big deal. And obviously, freshman-wise, we expect our freshman classes to continue to grow. And, you'll add some other kids in the building because I think they enjoy being around the kids that we have in the program. So, we're excited for sure.
A little bit of a different schedule next year. A lot of the same ones on there from this year. No Cahokia in week 1. You have replaced them with Belleville East, Granite City. No Freddie Edwards. That still on the schedule, but no Freddie Edwards is a big thing. Mattoon and Lincoln have to come here. The only long trip is the week 4 trip to Taylorville. And no Peoria Notre Dame. You got replaced with the Lift for Life Academy. So a little bit of a different schedule next year.
A little bit, yeah. We'll welcome Belleville East. I don't even know, Todd. We might be on the road first week. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at that. I knew we played with them or played against them week 1. We beat them as a program the last 3 times. Our freshmen, sophomores put it on them the other day, 42-0, and obviously we swept them last year, which is great. I think Michael Harrison's going to do a tremendous job over there, and we expect them to be well prepared. They've beaten Alton this year. But we still feel good about another offseason and getting ready for them and everybody else. I mean, it's we'd love to start back over, Todd, knowing what we know now and being able to prep in July for what we've taken on. And if we did that, we feel like maybe it could be a little bit different. But we've been competitive, and our kids hats off to them because they've played hard, which is difficult to do when you haven't won a game. And for them to be 0-8 coming into tonight, and we feel like they're going to once again play hard, and that's a big deal. And it just speaks volumes to their character.
All right. After only attempting 2 passes at the game at Mattoon, you opened it up a little bit this past week against Peoria Notre Dame here, and I think in some instances it looked really, really well.
It did. The freshman, eventually we're going to have to start calling him by his name instead of just the freshman, but he's going to have to earn that. Yeah, he's done some good things, and you and I talked pregame last week about that, and you asked me, are you going to tell the ball a little bit more? And I told you I felt like we were going to, and we did. Todd, I look at the Bears right now. I'm a huge Bears fan, and I'm watching Trubisky just get absolutely blasted on social media and by the news and everybody else. But everything starts with the run game. And when you're running the football, which the Bears aren't doing right now, it makes it more difficult on him to throw it when you know that it's coming. For us, Gabe Miller has done some great things. Tremaine Burns they've done some great things. Our offensive line has played more consistent over the last 4 weeks. And as a result, it's opened some pass game stuff up. And Travion Swagger was a man last week. And that's big for us. And but the receivers have come so far in over the last 8 weeks as well. 5 weeks ago we didn't feel good about them, and now all of a sudden we're looking at these kids that are all going to be back, that are getting some reps, and we're like, okay, this kid Kyle Schneiderwin's not a bad ball player. Jackson Lee, a kid who he's come along, he's kind of finding his niche out there. He's doing a real nice job. Obviously Trey Swagger. I mean, there's something to be excited about. So yeah, the freshman's getting a lot better, and hopefully we'll be able to take the training wheels off completely tonight and let him go.
Double super secret probation, Centralia. I don't know anything about him because nobody will share any information with me, and I know that you're feeling the frustration as well. So talk about this game tonight against the Orphans. What do you want to see out of your team, and what are we going to see? Are you going to throw some guys out there just to give them that varsity experience because it's the last game and it really has no meaning, or are we going to see the regulars come out there and try to win a game?
Yeah, that's a great question, Todd, and the one thing I stand by is we're loyal to these seniors that have stayed with us. And it's not easy. Like I said, it's not easy to go through being 0-8 walking into week 9. But those kids that have been here, that have done everything we've asked, you want them to get their one last shot. You want them to do that while at the same time, if you find a time to be able to mix some kids in, you want to do that. But there's also seniors that maybe haven't played a lot or at all, and you want to get them some reps. So we're going to try and throw some things together with those combinations and try and get a W. As far as Centralia is concerned, I've seen them obviously on film. We've got a couple games that we exchanged, and they've got some athletic kids. I think they're very comparable to Cahokia. Just Cahokia's been able a little bit more experience than Centralia is. Staff-wise, I mean, they've got guys that are from SHG. Their head coach is from SHG. It's a tradition-rich program, obviously, up north, and he carries himself like they do. He's very confident. And they take after that. But yeah, they're a little tight to the chest with things, and that's all right. We'll kind of once the ball gets kicked off, we'll just see what they're going to do.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck and good senior night.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Todd.
And it's Coach Mike Popovich of your Collinsville Kahoks. We'll take a break here on the Philip Jennings Flores pregame show. When we come back, starters come your way, and we'll take a look at our stats anyway. We'll do that next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Philip Jennings Flores, a Collinsville original since 1939. Philip Jennings Flores has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Philip Jennings Flores is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion, from anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings. Philip Jennings Flores is there for any life's major moments. Philip Jennings Flores, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at philipjennings.com.
Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home or business, whether that's tree trimming and maintenance, brush removal, power washing, gutter cleaning, and leaf raking and removal. AW Outdoor Solutions can handle that and much more. AW Outdoor Solutions is fully insured and offers free estimates on all of their work. AW Outdoor Solutions. Call Adam Welly at 314-252-8010 or on Facebook at AW Outdoor Solutions.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And we welcome you back to Kahok Stadium here on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you set for the final week of the high school football season. Collinsville getting ready to take on Centralia. Kahoks come in at 0-8 under their second-year head coach Mike Popovich, who is now 3-14 in his tenure here at Collinsville High School. Centralia is coached by Bobby Brennison. He is in his fourth year, and he is 18-20 if you include the 2-6 mark this year. They went 1-8 last year, but before that they had some pretty good success. They went 7-3 in both 2016 and 2017, so they qualified for the playoffs. In 2016, they lost to Washington, and in 2017, they lost to Morton. And we don't have any stats on this team. I emailed Coach Brennison earlier in the week and asked him if he could send me a copy of his roster and his team stats, and he said, here's a copy of my roster. We don't hand out team stats. I don't know.
I just, like I said, whenever you told me that story, you know, it's one thing if they're a 4-4 team going into this game with a shot at going to the playoffs and you need every edge to win. It's a little different when you're 2-6.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I didn't understand it either. I emailed him back and said, I'm sorry, I don't want you to think I'm a coach because I'm not trying to get an edge. I'm just a play-by-play announcer. I said, could you imagine Joe Buck and Troy Aikman having the stats for only one team when they do a game on Sunday? That wouldn't go very well.
Exactly. You know, if you're able to see the stats, you can kind of see the story of a team.
Right.
So we're kind of going in the dark tonight.
We are. We know what our stats are, and we'll pass some of those along to you here in just a moment. Collinsville won the coin toss, but they elected to defer, and we'll kick off to Centralia, who are the team dressed in red, looking like the Kansas City Chiefs out there. In Collinsville, they are in whiteout mode tonight. All the student cheering body section is dressed in white as well. So you have to bear with us as we go along here, and we'll figure out some names and numbers for you for Centralia. We do, thanks to the radio guys they brought with them, do have an idea of who the starters are. And here is the opening kickoff by Devin Detjens. And it heads short to the sideline, and a little bit of a run there on the far side. And right at midfield, the runner finally brought down. I believe that looked like Connor Rogers, I believe. And Collinsville taking the defense to the field to start off with. Here are your defensive starters. Your ends are Chris Garcia, Cloud, and Dante Williams. Your defensive tackle is Caden Smith. Your inside linebackers are Gabe Miller and Aaron Rodriguez. Your corners are Kyle Kershaw and Antoine Catchings. And your safeties, Stephen Green and Chris Jones. Your quarterback for Centralia, or so I've been told, is Hayden Miner. He is a senior quarterback listed at 6 foot 195 pounds. And it looks like we're going to start off in the shotgun. And we will see some aerial tonight out of the Centralia Orphans, I've been told by their radio crew. So they have two wide receivers on either side of the formation and one lone setback, and I believe that is number 33, Mark McLean, who is a senior running back and offensive lineman. Here is a fake pass, and over here on this side of the field, Camden Woolbright catches the pass from the quarterback Hayden Miner, and we're underway, and Centralia picks up about 7 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Orphans.
Yeah, that was just a little bubble pass. These spread teams really like to run these kind of little routes, get guys open into space, and see if they can make a move and make somebody miss for some big yardage. Judging by some of their scores, yes, they're a big-time passing team.
There's another fake handoff, and this one is going to go incomplete on the far side, intended over there for James Long, one of the wide receivers here for the Centralia Orphans, as Hayden Miner goes 1 for 2 in his first 2 throws of this game.
Yeah, same idea on that one. If you're going to be running these kind of short things out of the backfield, you got to be very accurate, and as we saw in that one, he overthrew him.
So Miner is back in shotgun once again, and once again he has 2 wide receivers stacked on both sides of the formation, and the lone running back is Mark McLean. Here is the snap as he goes back to throw over here to David Tabor. Complete pass, but maybe a little bit short of the first down. No, looks like they're going to mark him just over the stick, so they're going to move the chains, and Centralia has their first down of this game. Looks like Camden Woolbright lines up as a wide receiver on the far side, along with Tabor, who just caught that pass. And over here on this side, we have James Long, along with Marcus Isaiah. So those are your 4 wide receivers for the Orphans, and they have a fresh set of downs and just into Collinsville territory at the Kahok 48-yard line. 1st and 10, and Miner takes the snap and is yet to hand the ball off. Throw over here to Isaiah. And Isaiah gets across the line of scrimmage and gets pushed out of bounds right in front of the Kahok bench after a gain of about 5 on the play. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Trey Anderson there on the stop for Collinsville. Second down and 5 to go. 11:07 left on the clock. We're just underway in the first quarter. Centralia comes in, as I told you, at 2-8. They won their last game against Mount Vernon in big fashion. Here is a little slant pattern caught by Woolbright, and Woolbright takes it all the way into the red zone down to the Kahok 20-yard line.
Yeah, they've still yet to hand the ball off. This is big-time passing. And they're just kind of picking these little zones, picking Collinsville's defense apart. Hopefully we can make a stop.
Centralia won their first game of the year at Salem 21-13. They won last week against Mount Vernon 53-43, and sandwiched in between that 6 losses all in a row. There's a flag on the play right at the snap, and we're going to have a false start called here against Centralia, so that'll help Collinsville out, and we'll take the Orphans out of the red zone. So instead of 1st and 10 from the Kahok 20, it'll go back to the 25. Collinsville trying to pull out a victory here tonight and not have a season in which they do not have a win. They have done that 6 times in their history, so trying to avoid number 7 here tonight. 1st down and 15, Miner in shotgun, and our first handoff goes right up the middle to McLean, and McLean is going to have himself a 25-yard touchdown, and there's a flag in the end zone right as McLean crossed the goal line. So we'll have to see about the flag first before we award the 6 points.
Yeah, Todd, that was just a little draw play that they just ran for that touchdown.
Could we have an
First
illegal
run
block?
of the game.
Here comes the call. Well, they're going to talk to Coach Pop about it, so it must be against Centralia. I guess, I would think. Whatever the case may be, that's a personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Centralia. Well,
not sure I saw what happened.
I didn't see anything that happened either, because I was watching McLean cross the goal line, and then that's when the flag came up. Right when McLean passed the referee, who's standing right over the ball right now, that flag came out. So I wasn't paying attention to that, so I have no idea what happened.
Oh, I gotcha. So there's speculation in here that he must have done something as he was crossing the goal line, maybe taunting or something like that.
Okay, so it was after the touchdown.
Counted, yeah.
So they count the touchdown, and now they are on for the extra point. And the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So Centralia gets pay dirt first as they get themselves a 25-yard touchdown run from Mark McLean and take a 7-0 lead. Collinsville will get the ball for the first time tonight when we come back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, Centralia has a 7-0 lead on a 25-yard touchdown run by Mark McCain. And now Collinsville, due to get the ball back here for the first time tonight, they're assessing the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the kickoff here. So the Orphans will kick off from the 25-yard line. And looks like that is Tyree Westbrook who is the kicker. Standing back at the 35-yard line is Swaggart, but it's going to go down the far sideline, and it's going to be picked up by Collinsville's Green.
And he just
Stephen Green just slipped and fell down right at the 30, so that is where Collinsville will start from. Here are your starters on offense. Colby Anderson, the freshman quarterback, is back at the helm once again. He'll hand the ball off to Gabe Miller, Kyler Williams, or Jaden Neighbors. He may throw the ball to Travion Swaggart and Jackson Lee. And up front, his help is going to consist of center Gage Trevere, right guard Martin Ochoa, left guard Cole Hamilton, and your tackles on the right side Terrence Smith. On the left side is Eli Norton. Colby Anderson comes in, having completed 31 of 53 for 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions on the year for the freshman quarterback. Here's the snap. Handoff goes right to the tailback, and that is Gabe Miller, I do believe, and Miller makes it to the line of scrimmage and across for about a yard and a half before he is thrown backwards, and Collinsville picks up 2 on the play, so we'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, it's odd. I'm pretty excited to see the progression of this Kahawk offense. They've been running the shotgun double wing for the last few weeks. I'm guessing just because of some of the injuries, it's forced them to change a little bit, but they've just been getting better every week and putting more and more points on the board. Let's see tonight.
Especially Gabe Miller. He's had a tremendous time running the ball. We'll give you the stats on him right after this. This is a handoff that's going to go to Kyler Williams. He cuts around the left side and runs out of room. Cuts it up, though, and gets some positive yardage, and then a late flag comes in. May have been a late hit out of bounds.
Looks like it.
So if it is, it'll be 2 flags against Centralia here in the early going, just 2 minutes into this game. So if you're going to average a flag a minute, you're going to be in trouble. Here's the call. It's a face mask against Centralia, so I was wrong on the hit out of bounds, but the face mask brought him down, so that will give Collinsville a 1st down once they tack on the yardage. Miller coming into tonight, 89 carries, 483 yards, and 6 touchdowns. You have to remember, he didn't really run the ball for the first 3 games.
No, he's definitely found his way again in this double wing. He's the fullback in it, and just a great in-between the tackles runner. And let's see, showing it again. Well, not on that.
Yeah, they didn't. They smelled that one right away, did the Centralia front line, and they has a 2-yard loss for Miller. In motion was Jaden Neighbors. And as we mentioned, Collinsville mentioned in the pregame show, they only tried 2 passes in that loss at Mattoon. Last week, they went 7 for 11 for 120 yards through the air, along with a touchdown, and, of course, the 2 interceptions. Those are not pretty, but showed a little bit of life the passing game did last week. So 2nd down and 12 for Collinsville. Here's a snap. The pitch is going to go back to Jaden Neighbors as he was in motion, and that one's going to get sniffed out as well, and that's going to be a bigger loss. And 2 plays here after Centralia gave Collinsville a 1st down with a penalty has resulted in losses, both of them.
Yeah, that was just a power to the wing, and unfortunately he just took a little bit too deep. If he would have been a little more shallow with that, probably would have been able to cut up field a little bit more and gain some yardage. Those are just little nuances that they're going to have to pick up as they run this kind of offense.
3rd down and 12 now for Collinsville, so they were starting to inch closer toward midfield, but now they're back almost where they had to get the 1st down the last time they had the ball. Miller, the deep man once again. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Here's a snap, and Anderson's back to pass. He gets pressured, and down goes Anderson on an open field quarterback sack by Devontae Cunningham for Centralia, and that's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Kahawks, and they're going to have to punt.
Brings up 4th down for the Kahawks.
Well, one thing's for sure, the front line for the Collinsville Kahawks on their offense is going to have to hold a little better because there's a lot of guys wearing red that are getting through right now.
Yeah, so far they've definitely gotten the penetration on that sack, and then on that last play where they stopped Gabe Miller for about a yard loss.
Here is a punt by Colby Anderson, and it's not bad. It ends up over midfield and takes a Collinsville roll and goes out of bounds at the Centralia 44-yard line. So the Orphans will start their second possession in very good field position and eyeing that opportunity to take a 14-point lead right off the bat here against Collinsville, while the Kahawks need to stiffen up on both sides of the ball right now. Don't forget that we're back at you tomorrow. We have the regional championship game for Class 3A boys soccer. Collinsville taking on O'Fallon at O'Fallon tomorrow at 6 o'clock. All right, here is Hayden Miner once again back in shotgun for the Orphans, and this one's going to be a handoff. Remember, they passed primarily the whole first series except for a couple of runs, and now they start off this series with a run.
Yeah, that's only the second run of the game so far for Centralia.
That was a handoff to Marcus Isaiah. He's listed as a wide receiver on the roster, but they'll interchange some of their players a lot here, Centralia will. 2 wide receivers on this side, one on the far side, one lone setback next to Miner, and he gets the handoff, and that once again is Isaiah, and he heads toward the sideline, cuts it up, and then picks up positive yardage into Kahok territory, and that'll move the chains for him and his Orphan teammates.
That's odd. That's 2 runs in a row. Have
Yeah.
we seen a different team this drive?
I know. Different team from the last drive, and I think that caught Collinsville off guard. They were
Little
expecting
bit.
probably a bunch of pass plays, and right off the bat, a couple of handoffs to the wide receiver.
1st and 10 at the Kahawks 39-yard line.
2 wide receivers once again over here on this side. James Long is the guy in the slot, and the lone tailback once again is Marcus Isaiah, and Isaiah for the 3rd time in a row gets the ball. This time Collinsville sniffs it out, and a nice tackle busting through the line for Tremaine Burns.
Yeah, that was a great job by Burns to sniff that out and actually make that tackle.
7:25 left to play here in this opening quarter. 7-0 in favor of Centralia.
2nd and 12 for the Orphans.
The first team to not win a game for Collinsville was way back in 1923 when that team went 0-3-1. Only played 4 games.
It's back in the days of leather helmets.
Oh, yeah. Not very good leather helmets either.
Nope.
Here is Miner back to pass. He looks, he throws, and that one was on the ground. It was in the fingertips of Camden Woolbright as Nick Becker was trying to chase him from behind. I thought for a moment that ball was going to hit Becker in the back, and it almost went into the hands of Woolbright. It did, but he couldn't hold on to it. That was a carpet catch. The last time Collinsville did not have a win in a season, unfortunately, was not that long ago. Well, to me, it doesn't seem that long ago. 2004, 15 years ago.
I remember that. That was my freshman year.
Coach
Went to every
Lildergren,
one of those
unfortunately, was the head coach there.
Yep, that was his first year as head coach.
Here is Miner back to pass again. He's looking to his left. He throws to his left, and oh, that's picked off. Collinsville with an
Wow, what a great
interception.
play.
Nick Becker. He almost got hit in the back with the last pass, and this time he picks off a Miner pass, and Collinsville gets the ball back. Tell you what, Nick Becker.
That's a good momentum shift. Let's see if Collinsville can go ahead and capitalize that on this drive.
I've complimented Nick Becker's play since he made a standout performance in the game in Alton. And every game I have called his name, and he's done some good things, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a very solid little player, especially as a sophomore. He's going to have some really good years to come.
So light for Collinsville here as they were looking at another scoring drive by Centralia. They get the ball back and hand the ball off to Jaden Neighbors, and Neighbors gets it across the line of scrimmage and picks up about 2 on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Looks like a little counter play for them. Kind of going through the progression of the double wing.
Becker
dive
also
of-
had a interception at Mattoon, too.
Very nice.
So
Yeah, I'm
it's-
excited to see how he progresses the next 2 years.
There's a couple really good sophomores on this team, so the future looks pretty good for this team. We just got to stay away from the injuries. The injuries decimated this team this year.
They always do.
That's a flag, and that one's going to go against Centralia, so a free 5 yards here for Collinsville. We'll turn that 2nd and 8 into a 2nd and 3.
I totally understand. My last year coaching was 2014, and we hit a huge injury bug. Lost almost every one of our captains that year. Lost Jordan Miller, if you remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Our really good fullback, the second game of the season.
There's a handoff to Miller, speaking of.
It definitely takes it out of you.
Up to the 40-yard line. That is very close to a first down. Needed 3 yards, probably got 3 3/4. It's going to bring up 3rd down and inches here for Collinsville. And once again, Gabriel Miller, the deep man, he almost ran right over his quarterback as he took the handoff and gets the first down, plus about 7 yards more, all the way out to the Kahok 47-yard line. So Collinsville knocking on the door of enemy territory here.
That is just an impressive run by Gabe Miller. As soon as that first sign of contact, he just keeps those legs churning for more yards.
First sign of contact was his own quarterback. I thought he was going to knock Anderson over there for a second. 5.5 to go here in this first quarter. Collinsville on the move after a Kahok interception of a minor pass. And now first down, and Anderson back to pass. Has Swaggart wide open. Swaggart had to come back for the ball. Now does a little dance at the 50-yard line and gets into orphan territory as he is tackled inbounds at the orphan 47-yard line. So from one 47 to another 47. Collinsville will be looking at a 2nd down and about 4 to go here. And now we have a injury timeout. It looks like a Centralia player over there on the sideline right in front of the Collinsville bench. So we will step aside as well. Back in a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Back here at Collinsville High School, that was actually Trevion Swaggart that was hurt on that play. So he ended up getting up and leaving under his own power. So we're happy to see that as Collinsville is looking at a 2nd down and about 4 to go for a first down here from the Orphans 47-yard line. Here is Anderson in shotgun, and the handoff goes to Miller right up the middle. He has a first down and a little bit more.
Another great run.
Miller uses that big old body of his. I tell you what, man. He gets those legs moving, 6 foot, 235 pounds, and I'm guessing that about 135 of that is from the waist on down.
Yeah, once he gets momentum, he's kind of, you normally call those kids bowling balls, but he's actually taller than a normal bowling ball type of running back. He gets momentum going and just get out of the way.
Jackson Lee lines up as a wide receiver on the far side. He caught a pass last week. Here's a handoff that goes to Miller, but Miller runs into one of his own players and then tries to rebound from that, and by that time there's all kinds of red jerseys all over him. So the first 0 for season, 1923. The last one, 2004. In between that, we had an 0-8 season in 1950. And then, back-to-back 0-9 seasons in 84 and 85. And then a 0-8 season in 1993. Guessing the game got rained out and they just decided not to play it.
Sounds
Something
about
like
right.
that. Yeah. All right, so Kyle Schneiderwin is in to replace Swaggart over here on this near sideline. Rolling out is Colby Anderson. He throws while he's on the run. That was a nice job, though, getting rid of that ball before he ended up taking that sack, and he just missed the hands of Kyler Williams in the process.
Todd, I am so impressed with Colby Anderson this year as a freshman.
I know.
Coming out here and doing the things that he's done. I know he's not happy to be 0-9 or 0-8. But, man, is he going to be fun to watch here in the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah, big time. We were talking to Coach Popovich in the pregame show interview, and he's like, we don't even call him Colby Anderson anymore. We just call him the freshman. Schneiderwin lines up on this side, Jackson Lee on the far side, and Gabe Miller once again is your deep back. As Williams goes into motion, he gets the pitch, and then he tries to turn it right up into the middle of the teeth of that Orphans defensive line, and that wasn't a good idea.
Well, one of the fears that you always have whenever you put a freshman on the varsity field is how fast the game is. It is so much faster on a Friday night versus the kids that are, juniors and seniors. So it's just pretty refreshing to see him come out, and he's got the kind of poise that he has. That's why I think he's going to be pretty good for the next few years.
Well, Collinsville facing another fourth down. After they make some forward progress, they move backwards. That's been the case on both drives. Here's Colby Anderson looking like he's going to punt. 3:12 left to play here in this first quarter. It's a high end-over-end punt that lands at the 10, rolls toward the goal line. Collinsville is going to be able to down it at the 1.
Wow, great job.
Boy, for a moment there, I thought that ball was going to roll across that goal line.
It looked like they missed the opportunity, but that's a great save.
It is. So Centralia will have a tough road to hoe here. They'll have to go 99 yards if they want to change that 7 into a different number, and Collinsville is hoping that they don't do that. So Collinsville trying to win one game. They have 23 seasons in which they've done that. And the last one was 2017. They won in Week 6 over Granite City. Last win for Collinsville was in Week 8 of last year, so they are 0 for their last 9. Minor back at quarterback. He's in shotgun standing in the enemy's end zone, and he throws to get out of it at the goal line, and then a nice move by the receiver up the sideline and tackled out of bounds right around the 20-yard line, so a pickup of 19 on the play.
They had him.
Yeah, they did.
That could have been a safety very easily. Unfortunately, I just had to make that tackle, and he slipped out of it.
Centralia picks up a first down on the play.
So a first down to boot, and the Orphans get out of trouble just like that. So this is just like having that ball go into the end zone. First down at the 20. Minor is in shotgun once again. Wide receivers 2 on either side. That's a missed play right there, and they throw the ball away as that ball ended up bouncing behind the line of scrimmage. So I think that was a missed play. Minor went back to hand the ball off, and the guy he handed the ball off to wasn't there anymore.
Well, they throw it so often, it's kind of rare.
Yeah.
If you're a running back, you don't know sometimes.
That one was intended for James Long, but that one fell way short of Long. So a incomplete pass, they call it. Second down and 10 here for Centralia from their own 20. Minor in shotgun again. This time he is going to hand the ball off, and this one is going to go to Mark McLean. And McLean will get across the line of scrimmage for about a yard, and that's about it. Collinsville did a good job reading that one.
One thing to keep an eye out throughout this game, that quarterback's got to get awfully low sometimes for that snap. It's been about 3 in a row that he's really had to squat down for it. Watch for a bad snap at some point.
Would not surprise me. He's already had to pick one up off the ground.
Yep.
And he's in shotgun once again, and this time McLean, the 6', 210-pound running back, is on his left-hand shoulder, and Collinsville may have moved, and this will be a free 5 yards for Centralia. Collinsville is just being nice guys and paying them back for the one they had earlier, right?
That's exactly how that works.
Right. 2:16 left to play here in this first quarter, 7-0 in favor of Centralia. Centralia on their opening drive drove down the field, and a 25-yard touchdown run by Mark McLean is the only score so far. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 after they march off the penalty yardage. And it looks like Burns is going to come off once again, and Seth Bruzewitz, one of these seniors, going to come in and take his place. So 3rd down and 4, big 3rd down here for Collinsville. Boy, if they can stop them here, they'll force Centralia to punt. So a big one right off the bat here. We're still in just the first quarter. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to McLean. McLean goes around the left side. He has that first down, and he's going to have a lot more than that. He gets into Collinsville territory, and he's finally brought down at about the 35-yard line as he was brought down there by Chris Jones. Wow.
Yeah, that was a good run.
Yeah, it was. I said it was an important 3rd down, and boy, it turned into be a bigger 3rd down for Centralia than it was for Collinsville.
Unfortunately so, Collinsville had an opportunity to kind of change a little bit of the momentum of this game, and just those kind of runs can be backbreakers sometimes.
So they'll spot the ball at the Kahok 34-yard line. First and 10 now for Centralia. Minor in shotgun once again, and once again he'll hand the ball off. This time he hands it off to Devontae Cunningham. Flag comes in late as Cunningham is ran out of bounds. Once again, Chris Jones there on the tackle, along with Nick Becker and DJ Poe.
There may have been a block in the back.
That's exactly what it is. Holding. So we'll bring that one back. And they'll spot it from the end of the run, maybe, where the foul happened. They got about 5 yards on that play, I guess. So now they'll mark it back. Okay, so it looks like they maybe got 8 on that play and marked it back 10. So instead of a second down and about 5 to go, it's going to be first down and about 13 to go. Minor in shotgun once again, and once again he has Devontae Cunningham as his lone running back, 5'9", 190 pounds. He throws to the sideline, though, to Isaiah, and Isaiah makes the catch, gets pushed out of bounds, gained about maybe 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, just a little rocket screen. Like I said, they're just trying to get those guys open and in space and make somebody miss. A lot of times you'll just see that little 2-yard gains.
Wide receiver was pushed out of bounds. That stops the clock with 1:22 left to play here in this first quarter. Second down and 12 to go here for the Orphans. Minor trying to bark out signals to get Collinsville to jump, but they were not biting that time, were the Kahawks. Cunningham is the lone running back behind Minor, and Cunningham gets the ball, tries the left side, cuts it up the middle, has the first down and a little bit more into the red zone, down and around the 18-yard line of the Kahawks.
Collinsville's having a pretty big issue of sealing off that side. That's the second or third time in the last probably 5 or 6 plays they've been able to get outside like that. Those outside linebackers have got to contain.
Moves the chains. Centralia has a fresh set of downs as they try to add on the second touchdown of their evening. Now McLean is back in there as the lone running back. Minor in shotgun. And again, 2 wide receivers on each side. The handoff goes to McLean up the middle, and McLean has some more success down to the Kahawk 10-yard line. That'll bring up a second down and about 2. They can get a first down at the 8. Collinsville's run defense having a hard time making any stops here tonight. Down to the final 30 seconds here in this first quarter. Minor stays in shotgun. Haven't seen him under center at all in this game yet. Fake handoff to McLean. Throws a wobbly pass over here to Isaiah, and it's stripped out of his hands. Ball still on the ground, and finally picked up by Centralia at the 15-yard line. Boy, Collinsville had a couple of guys in there. Looked like DJ Poe swiped at it, knocked it out of the pile, and there's a flag on the play as well.
Flag on the field.
Holding. Waiting for him to point to which team it is. Looks like it's going to, it's going to be against Centralia again. So,
well, they're trying to run another one of those little screens, and that's somebody got their hands on somebody and held on too long.
Well, that pass out of Minor's hand was wobbly, wasn't it?
That was very wobbly, and that could have easily been picked.
Almost was, and almost turned into a fumble afterwards.
Yeah. That could have been a huge play. That would have been a pick 6. Nobody would have been there to catch him.
So,
and those just those little breaks that Collinsville's got to be able to get. You know, that changes the entire game if you can get one of those.
That's the end of the first quarter, and Centralia scores the only touchdown of the game. We'll take a break and come back with quarter number 2 in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Todd Duke, Peyton Blaylock back with you as we are just about ready to go for quarter number 2 here between Collinsville and Centralia. The Orphans scored on a 25-yard touchdown run by Mark McLean. That's the only score of this game. Of course, could not find any history between these two teams. Don't know if they've ever played each other. Maybe back in the olden days, 30s, 40s, somewhere around there they may have. But our access to that kind of history ends at 1999.
Believe it or not, the one person I know would be my dad,
Yeah.
John Blaylock. He's got an entire, or did, I don't know if he still has it, an entire binder of all of Collinsville football history.
Really?
Every game going back to the start with scores.
Well, you know what? Me and your dad need to hook up. I need
was
some of that
gonna
information.
say.
I need that information. All right, Centralia has the ball. It's a second down and about 15 to go for first down for the Orphans as Minor is back to pass, looks in zone, throws in zone, and back in the corner. It is no good. Incomplete. I think he was out of bounds when he caught it,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
kinda
why.
hard to
Because
see from here.
he did catch it, I believe, but yeah, that's a little bit too far away for my eyes. No football state championships for Centralia in their school history. They do have a few boys basketball state championships back in the day, as the kids say, or I guess somebody used to. I don't know if the kids today say it. I think the adults say it more than anyone. Minor in shotgun, hands the ball off to McLean. McLean jogs right up the middle and runs into a purple and white wall right about the original line of scrimmage marker. And that will bring up a fourth down and 10. And Collinsville has another player hurt. So we have an injured player on the field. We will step aside for just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
Aaron Rodriguez was the injured player, and Minor back to pass, and it hits a 19-yarder in the back of the end zone. Wide open was David Tabor, and that was an easy pass there for Minor.
Yeah, he just found a zone to sit right in and just became extremely wide open.
So Minor with a pass to Tabor. And now an extra point try here by Cameron, or excuse me. Well, it's good no matter who it's from.
Well, if we had stats.
Well, yeah, if we had stats and we had things like that, we could probably help you out a little bit better, but we don't have any of that stuff. So Centralia, they scored a touchdown in the first quarter, and they begin the second quarter with another touchdown, and they lead your Collinsville Kahawks by a score of 14-0. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking in the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo's O'Fallon branch office for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon. Call Bill at 618-632-1010. Visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online at fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back here at Collinsville High School, Todd Duke, Peyton Blaylock along with you. 14-0 in favor of Centralia as the Orphans scored on their first possession in the first quarter, and they scored on the second play here of the second quarter. Something like that. As Collinsville gets ready to get the ball back, Aaron Rodriguez is back out there already. He stands right at the 50-yard line, getting ready for this kickoff. And back deep, Green, Swaggart. And it's going to go to Green at the 17-yard line. He runs it across the 20, the 25, cuts it up across the 30, 35-yard line, and he gets it up to the 40-yard line before he is finally brought down. Not a bad run there by Stephen Green.
Yeah, it was a nice little run. He found his space and went. A couple little holes there that he might have been able to catch a little more yards, but nonetheless, decent field position for the Kahawks.
Stephen Green, just a junior, so we'll see him some more next year.
See, and that's good. This, last week of the season, you're not making the playoffs. Tonight's a really good night to see what you have to build for the future.
At the same time, you want to win a game.
Of course.
You want to win.
You can't deny that either.
There's a handoff to Gabe Miller, and Miller gets across the line of scrimmage and gets up to about the 45 before he's brought down, so a modest gain of about 2.
Well, the best of both worlds is you get to,
right.
if you can pull off a win, you get to build some momentum moving forward with the young guys.
Top of the second in Washington. Astros have a 1-0 lead over the Nationals. The way things have been going, that won't last.
No. That series has been interesting to say the least.
Well, you can see I don't feel bad at all about them sweeping us the way they're whipping up on the Astros.
No, not at all.
Second down and about 8 to go here for Collinsville. Here is a handoff on a Jaden Neighbors run, and a flag comes in.
A hold.
In the backfield, and that is usually always a hold by the offense.
Flag on the field.
But, as usual, we wait and see exactly what the flag is, and it is indeed a hold against Collinsville.
Yep. That's the danger you run whenever you run those wide outside plays like that. They're a little more long developing.
Of course, we'll have some scores to pass along to you at halftime during our Cafe Agape halftime show. Second down and 21 for Collinsville. They've put themselves in a uphill battle here in this game thus far. Here is a lot of confusion in the backfield as Colby Anderson did a 360.
It's a broken play.
It was. And luckily, Collinsville didn't turn the ball over. They ended up getting it into the hands of Kyler Williams, but just not the way it was supposed to.
Looked like it was supposed to be a counter play that somebody went the wrong way.
All right, now Cahokia leading O'Fallon 14-6 in the second quarter. Also in the second quarter, East St. Louis leading Naperville Central 14-0. Alton and DeKalb are scoreless. Here's the snap. Anderson back to pass, throws it to Swaggart on a sideline hook pass, and Swaggart gets a big chunk of that back. And at least it's not going to be 4th and 23. Instead, it'll be 4th and about 12.
So that's kind of the other side of
maybe even less than that.
The shakeup of the conference a little bit. Even everybody
else.
else.
Offense here for Collinsville. Third down and about 6 to go. Give him some decent field position on that one. 9:25 left to play here in this second quarter. And Collinsville looking like they're going for it here on 4th down and about 6 to go. Anderson looks to the sideline, maybe trying to get these guys to jump a little bit. 10 seconds left on the play clock, and now Collinsville is going to take a timeout. So the first charge team timeout for the Collinsville Kahawks, which means we will step aside and take a timeout as well. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahawks Sports Network.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, Todd Duke and Peyton Blaylock along with you. We have 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in this second quarter. So far, Centralia has been the only team to dent the scoreboard. A 25-yard run by Mark McCain and a 19-yard pass from Minor to Tabor has provided Centralia the scoring as Collinsville uses their first timeout. Here is Anderson, and he's got Swaggart open, but just at the last moment, stepping in was Tabor to knock that ball away from Swaggart, and that will put the ball right back into the hands of Centralia as the Kahawks turn it over on downs.
Yeah, the problem with that play is now you just gave Centralia really good field position to bust this game wide open. I like the aggressiveness, but there is risk whenever you do it.
So Centralia will have the ball already in Kahawk territory at the Collinsville 46-yard line. And the Orphans will start 1st and 10 from there. James Veller, I'm like looking at number 72, jogging off the sideline looking like Lurch from the Addams Family. Dude, 6'8", 250.
Wow.
Yeah, so flag right off the bat.
That's a big boy.
Yeah. Look at him right there, number 72.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big, tall kid. Number 70 looks pretty tall, too, but he's only 6'4".
6'8".
6'8", 250 pounds, man. That's a lot of guy to try to.
Yes, it is.
Man.
Those are the guys you got to go low
No
on.
wonder they're having a good time running the ball.
Well, you got to go low and, go back to the old saying.
Yeah, because a lot of guys
the harder they fall.
have those, 5'8", 300-pound guys that are wide. But this guy, guy's tall. He's going to take him a long time to go down, and when he does, watch out. There's really almost trapped in the backfield there by Stephen Green.
It's a really good initial pursuit, but yeah, they gotta make the play.
Amir Johnson was the ball carrier, and he didn't get very far, and it's going to be a 2nd down and about 15 to go, maybe even longer than that. 16, yeah.
And those are the things that the young guys got to learn how to do. They just got to finish these plays. You got the guys trapped. Don't give him an out.
Mark McLean is the lone setback, and McLean gets the ball and tries the right side. He heads back up toward the original line of scrimmage and gets pushed out of bounds halfway through the sticks. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5 after a gain of about 11 on the play. He split the sticks over there on the far side and got a lot of that back. Got 11 of the 16, so 3rd down and 5. And once again, 2 wide receivers on either side of the formation for Centralia. This time, the lone running back in the backfield is 13. Is that what that number was?
I think so.
I don't have a 13 on my roster. Oh, that's 12. I know who that is. That's Isaiah. He's already caught a couple of passes, ran a couple of plays, and he's like Freddie Edwards out there, except for he's not playing quarterback.
Yeah, looks to me like he's a little gadget guy. They just kind of move him around the formation and get the ball into his hands.
8:44 left to play here in this first half. That'll bring up they did get the 1st down, so that moves the sticks. And it'll be a fresh set of downs here for the Centralia Orphans.
Yeah, he's good, but not Freddie good.
1st and 10 Orphans from the Kahok 30-yard line.
1st and 10, as you heard Mr. Sika say, from the Kahok 30-yard line. Minor in shotgun once again. As Isaiah has his lone setback. There's a bad snap you were talking about. Rolls all the way back to midfield. Minor up for grabs, and no one's over there to get it. At least he had the wherewithal to throw it somewhere where there weren't people.
Probably going to be an intentional ground.
Yeah, it is.
Penalty called on that pass.
So we'll just keep an eye on that.
Yep.
I just kind of get that feeling.
So a loss and a loss of down. And they'll tack on. What do they get for that? 10 or 5 yards? 10 yards?
I believe it's 10 and
It
a
is.
loss of down.
Loss of 10 and a loss of down. So that should take them to the 30, back to the 40. That 15 yards? Holy.
Well,
Are they going to mark it at the spot of the foul? Do they really mark it this is at wow.
see this year, it's just, I don't know if I've just been paying attention to that penalty more or
'Cause
if they've just been calling it a
line
lot
of
more
scrimmage
this
is at
year.
the 30, a 10-yard penalty, get him at
Yeah.
the 40. A 15-yarder would put him at the 45. If
I've
this is a
noticed
spot
lot more
foul,
this year.
a spot foul, I was going to say, is it 15? They don't even know what's going on, do they?
I'm not sure.
It's the referee follies. All right, so 15-yard penalty is what they ended up giving him on that. So, and the loss of down, so it's going to bring up
That's what
second
hurts
down
it.
and 25. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that a intentional grounding was 15 yards. That's like an unsportsmanlike
Yeah.
conduct.
And you lose the down.
Yeah.
It's so much worse.
Wow. It's like the ultimate slap in the face.
Exactly.
Here is Minor in shotgun again. He'll hand the ball off, and this one is going to go to Cunningham. Cunningham tries the left side. Ooh, man, ran into his own
Wow.
player. Ran into his own player along
Yeah, we
with
can hear that hit from up
Kyle.
here.
Yeah, Antoine Catchings was there on the stop, but, man, I tell you what, Cunningham ran right into John Fisher, his own player.
Well,
I
sometimes
thought
you got to do
Fisher
what you
got-
got to do
I
to
thought-
get those yards.
Yeah, Fisher got the worst end of that deal. So a modest gain of about 2 brings up a third down and 23 here for Centralia. Minor trying to bark out directions and get Collinsville to jump. They didn't bite this time. Now Minor looks over to the coaching staff, has his play. And the snap. Minor rolls out to his right-hand side, throws while he's on the run, has a man open, and almost
Oh, man.
first down, but it's going to be real close on a nice catch by Camden Woolbright.
They're just finding these zones that Collinsville's running and just sitting down there.
Too much cushion.
Yep.
Saw that against Lincoln when I couldn't go to the game on the rain delay from the second game.
Exactly.
Here's a handoff to McLean on fourth down, and that wasn't fourth down, was it? Yes, it was.
That was fourth.
And we stopped him. Collinsville's going to get the ball back. Man.
It's a good stop.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they number one didn't throw the ball
Yeah.
on fourth. And I know they only needed 3, and they've had some success running the ball tonight, but you're taking a chance there. And that backfired for Centralia. Collinsville will get the ball back. Now we have to hope that the Kahawks offense can get something figured out here. They have not been able to move the ball very well. A couple of times they've moved backwards. And they have some time left. 7:41 left to play here in the second half.
Yeah, this could
Kahawks
be a
have
big,
2 timeouts left, so yeah, let's see what we can
this
do
is a
here.
big opportunity. They might be able to take a little bit of the momentum back.
Gabe Miller gets the handoff and
Good
bounces
run.
off a couple of people and drags a couple of more with him and almost has 10 yards that he needed for the first down.
He's just a violent runner. He is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, that's what Coach Popovich. That's how Coach Popovich
Yep.
described him last week.
Well, that's what you want in your fullback. You want a kid that can just hit that hole and take about 4 or 5 kids with you.
Jackson Lee comes out, and instead you will see Kyle Schneiderlin. He'll line up as a wide receiver on the far side. Swaggart over here on this side. And once again, Anderson in shotgun has Miller as the deep man, and a fake handoff to Miller, rolling and running right into
boy.
a tackler is
you don't
Anderson.
wanna see
Boy,
that.
he ran right into Brendan Franklin, the 5'10", 210-pound junior lineman for Centralia, and that one hurt.
Well,
Probably hurt
unfortunately,
Anderson, plus it
yeah.
hurt the team. That was a big loss there.
Well, he didn't even see it coming. He,
Nope.
he was rolling out, and it was just his first step forward with that, right into that guy. That doesn't
Well,
hurt
remember
you, it'll totally wake you up.
remember the 6'8" kid I told you about? He's out there on defense as
Oh,
well.
no.
Here's a snap. Anderson back to pass. Throws to the sideline, and right before Swaggart could get there for that one, that was knocked down by James Long. And it's going to bring up a third and very long here for Collinsville.
By Long of the Warriors. I'm sorry, of the Orphans. Brings up third for the Kahawks.
And 13 here for Collinsville. That's a lot longer than 13. That's about 16.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Ball is on the 25-yard line. They need to get to the 43-yard line for a first down. Swigert lines up on the far side. Brooks now is lined up as a wide receiver on this side as Anderson takes the ball and rolling out to the left-hand side is Kyler Williams, and he's got people behind him and in front of him, and that is a modest gain, if anything, and the Kahawks are going to have to punt. They just can't get anything going on offense here tonight.
That was just a little sweep play that's designed to get outside and get him into space, and
I don't know.
they're
The
doing
idea,
a great job containing out there.
The idea was they were not going to pick up 18 yards, but they wanted to get a little bit of that back to have a better chance at a punt here. But as it stands right now, return man for Centralia, Tabor, standing back at his own 45-yard line. So Anderson ready to punt. Here's a snap. Ball blocked partially. It bounces at the 30-yard line. It's on the ground. Who's going to get it? Oh, no, Centralia did just at the last moment at the 30-yard line. Covered up there by Mark McLean, who has already scored a touchdown and saved his team from turning the ball over there.
Yeah, they got in there with that block, but, man, Collinsville had another missed opportunity to get that fumble.
That's two missed opportunities now on balls squirting around on the old turf.
It's like Centralia's trying to turn it over.
6:12 left to play. This is a very slow-moving game, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, that 2-hour and 5-minute game at Mattoon. This one's going to be 2 hours and 5 minutes by the time we get to halftime.
I don't know if it's going to be as long as that game against Granite City.
Yeah, that was pretty long, too.
Probably the longest game I've ever been in.
Here's a snap to Miner, and he kind of trots with it a little bit and then snaps it out with a little bit of a pitch over on the far side to Isaiah, and Isaiah had nowhere to go. And then a flag comes in right at the very end of that play.
Might be a late hit.
That's a face mask call, it looks like. And usually when it's a face mask, it's against the defense, and it is.
That's exactly what it was. See, that's tough because you have the kid about, 4-yard loss, and then you do that.
Yep. Now you're going to give him 4 of those right back plus some.
Yep.
Well, just one. So it turns out to be a gain of about a yard on the play when it should have been a loss of about 4.
1st and 9 for the Orphans.
So first down all over again. Miner in shotgun, has Isaiah this time as his lone setback, and the same play, a little side step to the right and a pitch.
Weird little pitch play. I think he's not 100% sure, but he may be reading something like an option with that.
Looks like he is because he skips over it a couple of times and then pitches out.
Yeah, he's skipping over and
called
reading something.
Skip, read, pitch. 2 times in a row they've done that.
Yep.
And each time it hasn't got them much. I mean, the first time it was a loss if it wasn't for the penalty. This time it got him a yard.
They must see something that they like, but I'm guessing he's making the wrong read because of that. Not sure why else you'd run that twice in a row.
Play clock down to 10 seconds as they finally figure out what play they want to run. It's 2nd down and about 8 to go. Here's the snap and a fake pitch to Isaiah. This time Miner keeps and takes it up to the 25-yard line. So a pickup of about 3 on the play is going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Stop made by Chris Garcia.
5:35 left to play here in this first half. Wide receiver, Tabor, and Long over here on this near side. Now a little bit more crowded backfield, and the handoff is going to go to Cunningham, and there's going to be another flag on the play. Now a second flag comes in from the sideline. So we'll have 2 flags on the same play. Could they be offsetting?
Actually, I think both are going to be against Centralia. One for a hold, and the other might be an unnecessary roughness.
Referee convention going on the sideline over here. As the 2 referees that threw the flags are now explaining to the head ref in the white hat what the flags were for, and he'll sort things out. Coach Popovich is right down there in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I think both are going to be against Centralia. They had a kid hit block pretty high up. They may catch it as an unnecessary roughness.
I think they're just now trying to figure out where they want to put the ball.
Yeah.
All right, referee is finished, and he'll come out to the field and give us some hand jive. Holding.
Yep.
Offense. Penalty declined.
On the Orphans, that is declined by the Kahawks.
Personal foul, hit to the head.
Yep.
Against
Whoa.
the Orphans. I thought I was going to say. So
yeah, that's what I was talking about. They didn't look like a hit to the head. It looked pretty. I mean, it was high up, but yeah, you can't do that.
So you take the worst of the two, which the unsportsmanlike conduct is always going to be a 15-yard penalty, while holding is 10. So take the 15, and instead of 3rd and 5, it's going to be 3rd and 20. And instead of the ball being at the Kahok 25-yard line, it's at the Collinsville 40. And Centralia already up 14-0, looking for more. Clock continues to run. 5 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Miner in shotgun. As McLean is his lone back, but Miner's going back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's wobbly, and it is almost a better chance there for Stephen Green than it was for the intended receiver, Devontae Cunningham.
Yeah, that was good defense.
So,
great
4th down.
deflection on his part.
4th down and long here for the Centralia Orphans with 4:49 left to play after the incomplete pass stops the clock. And another big down here for Collinsville, trying to get the ball back. 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 over here on the near side. And now it looks like Miner's going to punt, but he drops the snap. Now he turns around and kicks the ball down the field, and that one's going to bounce, and it'll be downed inside the 5-yard line. So Collinsville will have to start 1st and 10 from their own 4. 4:35 left to play here in the second quarter, and 2 timeouts the Kahawks have to work with. So we'll see what Coach Popovich and his team has figured out in this first quarter and over a half, and see if we can make some adjustments and put some points on the board here. Collinsville outscored 150-13 in the first 4 games. The last 4 games they've been outscored as well, but it's not as lopsided, 168-120.
No, they definitely started figuring some things out on offense. Like I said, they kind of went to the double wing and started kind of spreading out the carries, but gave Miller a huge opportunity to establish himself as a fullback, which we've seen here tonight, just not consistent.
Yeah, Miller took that handoff and lost a yard on it, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 here for Collinsville. Kahawks just can't figure out this defensive line for Centralia. They got some big bodies up there. I told you about the 6'8" kid. He's up there. Also, you have number 70, Keshawn Jones. He is a 6'4", 255-pound defensive lineman. Here's another handoff, and this one is going to go toward the sideline and onto the track. Goes a couple of bodies as they tumble over there, and I don't really think they got any more yardage out of that play either. There's no gain on the play, maybe another loss of a yard, and it is. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 12. You go back any farther, and it's going to be a safety.
And this is where this is dangerous on not being able to get yards. Yes, the safety comes into play, but then also the punt.
Yeah.
You're going to be in your own end zone. They might be able to block it. They just blocked one a drive ago. But then if they get it off, you're going to give them really good field position.
This drive started on the 4 after one play, and line of scrimmage went back to the 3 after the last play. Now it goes back to the 2. What are they waiting for? A play to come in from the sideline? Travion Swagger's just now getting to the huddle with the play, and we're down to 7 seconds left on the play clock. 5. Anderson in shotgun. 2. There's a snap and the handoff. It's around the right-hand side and no room to move. And they're going to say that he was down because Jaden Neighbors got thrown down at about the 3-yard line. Ball popped out there, and Neighbors is hurt. So nothing good happening here for the Kahawks tonight. More injuries and moving more backwards than forward on offense right now. So we will step aside while there's an injury on the field, and we're back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquee Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquee to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock Team.
The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune has now added Collinsville to their coverage area this year, including coverage of City Hall, happenings in Collinsville, as well as coverage of the Unit 10 schools and the Collinsville Kahawks, plus more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper that is published every Thursday and has been reporting news and sports in Madison County for over 30 years. Subscriptions are only $32 for an entire year, delivered to your home and the online edition. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at www.timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Troy Times-Tribune. There you see Jaden Neighbors being helped off the field, and he is not putting any kind of weight whatsoever on that right leg, so we hope that Jaden Neighbors, the Collinsville junior running back, will be okay. And I would not want to see him back in this game at all if he wasn't okay. If he was okay, I meant to say. What, we had a timeout now? We had an injury timeout, and now somebody calls a timeout? Collinsville did.
It's like the old double timeout.
Yeah. So Kahawks have one timeout left. And well, I guess we'll just keep it right here since we just came out of a commercial break. Why not? Tell you a little bit more about football in Centralia. They've been playing football in Centralia since 1925. No state championships. Arthur Trout was their first head coach, and he stayed with them for 26 years.
Wow.
1925 to 1951. Went 153, 73, and 18. His best year was 1936 when the team went 11-0. I told you earlier that they have some state championships. The boys basketball team does. Well, Arthur Trout coached the basketball team for 37 years. So 26 years as the football head coach, 37 years as the basketball head coach, and got championships in 1917, 1921, and 1941. How about that?
That is
was
pretty
like
cool.
a Virgil Fletcher kind of legacy over there, because Virgil
Cool.
was a football coach here for a long time, but he, along with a lot of other coaches, has not had a lot of success here at the Collinsville football program, but he had probably better success than most coaches did.
I was going to say, actually, if you look at Coach Fletcher's records, he had the most success out of everybody.
Yeah.
But that was before playoffs were in the
Right.
state. But he had quite a few teams that actually had winning seasons.
I believe 1974 was the first year for playoffs, I want to say.
I believe so.
So a punt by Collinsville, and once again, Centralia has excellent starting field position, and they've had really good starting field position this whole game. It could be a lot worse than 14-0.
Yeah, Centralia's really shot themselves in the foot with penalties and not really turnovers, but, you know, the fumbles that just cost them yardage.
End up being lost yardage, Miner's in shotgun. He'll hand the ball off to McLean, and McLean goes right up the middle, and he runs into a couple of Kahawks and picks up about 4 yards on the play before he is finally brought down. And now it looks like we have a Centralia player hurt, and that's going to be one of their linemen, I believe. That is Jakice Brown, the 6'2", 215-pound freshman offensive lineman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing in this game for these
Yeah,
teams.
we do, and that's
it's unusual.
It is very unusual. So we'll finish my football story here for Centralia. So they qualified for the playoffs for the first time in 1974. I believe that.
There we go.
The first year. It was 9-2 under Don Smith. Smith was there for 13 years. He went 71, 47, and 4, and qualified for the playoffs in 1977 as well with a 7-3 record. And Centralia did not qualify for the playoffs again until 2001. They went 5-5 under Mark Arthur, so they went from 1977 to 2001 without qualifying for the playoffs. Ray Calding, he was the coach before their current coach of Brennison, and he coached 2009 to 15, qualified for the playoffs 3 times. They only have 1 win in the playoffs for Centralia, and that was that very first year, 1974. They beat Mascoutah 32-7 in round 1, and then lost in round 2 to Mattoon by a score of 32-6. The other times they have made it into the playoffs. Let's see, they lost to Danville in 1977. They lost to Triad in 2001. They lost to Normal in 2011. They lost to Jacksonville in 2020. They lost to Washington in 2016. And 2 years ago, their last trip, they lost to Morton by a score of 41-33. So they've had some times to be in the playoffs. They just haven't done anything with it. Just 1 win in all those trips.
It's interesting for 1977 to 2001, they had that gap. I wonder, obviously we really don't know the town of Centralia very well. It'd just be interesting to see what happened there.
Yeah, so besides the 3 boys basketball championships, that's the only sport championships that Centralia has in their school history. They did win a Scholastic Bowl title in 1990.
Nice.
That's not easy to do either.
I'm sure it's
Talk to Zach Roseman. He's been in a couple of those for Collinsville, man. He's like, man, those things are tough.
I'm sure they are.
It's like
smarter
people
than
it's like
me.
Jeopardy. Oh, yeah, much. It's like Jeopardy.
I just sell houses.
Yeah, I just do play-by-play and work for the school district. I can do some basic trivia at the trivia nights at some of these locations you go to, you know.
Yeah, for like Star Wars,
right,
sports,
exactly. Sports,
Marvel,
sports, music,
all that stuff. Yep.
Minor, he keeps the ball and steps up, and Collinsville swarms him and still manages to take a few people with him almost back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8 to go here for Centralia. So, again, the Orphans, excellent starting field position, but as of right now, not able to do anything with it. 2:35 left to play here in the second quarter. And, yeah, we're already an hour and 10 minutes into this game and haven't even made it to halftime yet. 3rd and long. 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Here is a handoff. Handoff goes to McLean. There's a flag on the play, and McLean is going to have enough for a 1st down, but that all depends on the flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
Right at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to go against Centralia.
Speaking of trivia nights, if you like trivia, Kelsey's Hope Foundation will be doing a trivia night on November 22nd at the Caseyville Community Center.
Nice.
So if you're interested in doing that, visit Kelsey'sHopeFoundation.com.
I've been to a few of those trivia nights to help out Pooches.
There you go.
Yeah. Those are always fun. Especially when they have them up at the American Legion because it's right up the street from my house. I can walk home.
That's really nice.
Yeah. All right, well, as we mentioned, Centralia just keeps on shooting themselves in the foot despite excellent starting field position. Was a 3rd and long, continues to be a 3rd and long after another flag against Centralia that wiped away another 1st down for the Orphans. So, ball sitting on the Kahok 42-yard line, 3rd down and 15. Minor in shotgun, hands the ball off again to McLean, and McLean, who got the 1st down on the last one that was wiped out by a penalty, gets it right back, and then he gets forced out of bounds all the way down at the Kahok 14-yard line.
Yeah, the Kahok defense can't let that happen. That is so tough to recover from.
3rd and 15, and you give him the 1st down and a lot more. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Orphans at the Collinsville 14-yard line with 1:48 left to play, so they have plenty of time to chew up some clock and put some points on the board. As Minor is back in shotgun, and this time he has Cunningham as his lone running back. Again, 3 wide receivers over on the far side. This time we're going to have a timeout called, and this one is going to be taken by Centralia. So we will step aside, take a timeout along with them. Back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Back here at Kahok Stadium, it is first down for the Centralia Orphans at the Collinsville 14-yard line. Minor takes the snap and keeps it himself after a bluff handoff to Cunningham, but Collinsville swarmed all over that one, and Collinsville defense has had their moments in this game where they have sniffed things out and have taken care of business, and then other times they'll bust it out for 10, 15, 20 yards. There was a flag on the play, though. Holding Centralia.
Holding on Centralia.
Again. Wow. I don't know how many penalties they've had.
Very inconsistent.
Hopefully my buddy Andy Sullins down there is keeping track of that, because I know it's a lot.
It's going to be a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's running out of room.
Drive killers.
He's running out of room on the graph thing. So, first down and about a city block and a half for Centralia to get a first down. They need 26 yards. And Minor in shotgun now has his wide receivers split up, 2 on each side of the formation. Cunningham is the lone running back, and Minor is back to pass. He steps, long, high throw, and caught all the way down at the 4-yard line on a catch by Camden Woolbright.
Todd, that pass was the definition of a duck.
It was. It stayed up in the air for so long that Woolbright, who was in the end zone, had to come back out and catch that ball at the 5-yard line.
And just wait.
Yeah. And it's not even a first down.
No.
Second down and 1.
Second and 1 for the Orphans.
Under a minute to go here in this second quarter. Orphans trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Collinsville will get the ball back first to start the second half. Here is a handoff, and into the end zone goes Cunningham on a 5-yard run, and Centralia adds on. Cunningham makes it 20-0. As we wait the extra point try here. Forthcoming from Abner Cruz. Here's the snap. The ball is on the way, and the kick is good. 46 seconds left to play here in this second quarter, and Centralia adds on, and they have a 3-touchdown lead to the Orphans, and Collinsville will get the ball back as we come back next here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Back at Kahok Stadium, 21-0 in favor of Centralia. Orphans try to win 2 in a row to end their 2019 campaign. They started off the year beating Salem 21-13, then lost to Galesburg 16-0, lost to Mascoutah 48-27, lost to Carbondale 40-19, lost at Altoff 13-6, lost to Cahokia 21-7, then lost at Marion 44-7 before finally pulling out a big win last week against Mount Vernon 53-43. Here is the kickoff, and it is caught once again by Green. Green is going to throw the ball across the field. He throws it on the far side, and the Collinsville Kahawks have a little trickery, and they bring the ball all the way up to the 42-yard line. That's a little bit different.
Yeah,
Green caught the ball over here on the near side and then fired a pass all the way over to Kyler Williams on the far side. Almost overthrew Williams. Williams had to act like a wide receiver and run under and catch that ball, and Collinsville, it's a pretty good trick there, getting it up to the 40-yard line. Now, if they can do anything with it. They do not have a lot of time to work with. 35.2 seconds and only one timeout left for Collinsville. We'll see what they want to do. Swaggart lines up as a wide receiver over here on this side. Jackson Lee on the far side. Gabe Miller is the deep back. And then coming in late is going to be Brooks in the slot. Anderson steps up and then gets tripped up. Would have had a little bit of room to move with, but right at the last second, Devontae Cunningham got in there and grabbed a shoestring, and that tripped up Anderson, and he bounced right back on the line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to give him a yard loss on the play. Clock runs, 13 seconds. Final play probably here of this first half as Anderson stands in shotgun. 5 seconds left. Here's the snap. Anderson back to pass. He's being flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to go down at the 25-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. And Anderson is on the ground, and he's hurt. We hope that that's not the last play we see from the young freshman quarterback here in this game. But it is time for the Cafe Agape halftime show, brought to you by my friend Ron McGee and the fine folks over at Cafe Agape in Collinsville. They have great food, nachos, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, way too many sides to choose from. They also offer catering and business as well. Matter of fact, I heard they were closed for a day this past week because they had 21 catering gigs or something like that in one day or something. I don't know. 345 Cafe, that's the number to call if you want to get in on the catering craze as well. 345-2233. Cafe Agape halftime show is next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats. All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.